All praise and great glory to the mighty, mighty, mighty Most High, the existing one and only one of our fathers. Shalom, Israel. This is your brother Dishawn, coming at you one more again with another lesson. You know, I am so relieved and excited that I got an opportunity to make amends with Brother Rakima that was out here and Sister Yakiya that was out here. And, you know, children of Israel, that's what we're supposed to do. And that's what I mean when I say that none of us are victims. I am not a victim. These lessons that I bring forth, I go clean myself physically and mentally, and I go pray to the mighty Most High before I do these lessons, before I do, you know, and I ask him to pour his spirit upon me. These lessons I also need to hear, because a lot of these lessons are through personal experiences. Personal experience through the scripture for a man like me is worth more than gold. No matter how painful they can be at times. And being out here in the desert, you know, I have a blessed opportunity to have that mirror put in my face. All praise and great glory to the mighty Most High. Much love, Brother Rakima. Much love, Sister Yakiya. It is a blessing to have forgiveness and to be able to forgive. You know, we got to get serious, Israel. We got to get serious about what's going on with us, inside of us, in our hearts and our minds. We are still a destroyed people. Shout outs to Sister Felicia Downer, Brother Kofi Quarton. Shout out to young Brother Ray D. Shout out to Sister Amina Israel, Calvin Hancock, Letitia, and Sister Elizabeth. All praise and great glory to the mighty Most High. Much love, family. Much love to all of you. Israel, we are brethren. To those with ears to hear and eyes to see, and the spirit of the mighty Most High on them, we are brethren. You know, my cousin, which is like an older brother to me, I call him brother. He's the closest thing to a brother that I've ever had, an older brother. You know, I've had a few in the United States Marine Corps, but He is blood, and I love him very much. And when I was on my 10-year getting my ass handed to me on drugs, you know, he did a lot to help me the best he could with what he knows. And, you know, watching him as I finally come clean off of those substances and eventually started growing in this truth, you know, I had to keep it moving. And it hurt a lot. I could feel animosity in him. And, you know, being younger, you know, he felt like he should have been a lot further along. I love him very much. But as we know, in every household, depending on the size, maybe out of 8 and 9 in that family, 2 to 1 will be children of Israel. Not all skin folk are kinfolk. And, you know, I know a lot of you know what I'm talking about. Also, shout out to brother Rod Walker. So, you know, I had always desired to have a true older brother, you know, and, you know, he did his best at times, you know, but I didn't have swagger. I didn't have, I was born of the Spirit, and I've always known something was different. But like I said, it wasn't until I came into the truth that I realized, you know, that, yeah. Some of our family members, maybe all or most, won't make it. Anyway, this video is on a recent dream that I had about 4 days ago. And I've been sitting on this because, you know, I don't just jump up and put my dreams on wax, like they used to say. You know, put it on wax like an album. No, I kind of fast and meditate over scripture and do a lot of asking the Most High, you know, how can I bring this to the people? Because the Most High will use what he uses to communicate with us, will he not? In this dream, about 2 o'clock in the morning, 4 days ago, I was asleep, and little Oreo was knocked out too. But yeah, it had to be around 2:45, because that's what time my rooster usually, Sneaky is his name, he starts, you know, doing his thing. I'm like, man, the sun ain't even freaking up yet. And then I doze back off for a little while, and I get a phone call. And in this phone call, I'm like, I look at the caller ID, and it says number restricted. So I answered the phone, and getting ready to cuss out a telemarketer or whatever. The man on the other line said, Shalom, brother Dishawn. How you doing? And I said, Brother Rap, I said, man, it's a blessing to be able to talk to you, you know. And Rap the News was saying, yeah, brother, you know, like you always say, if nobody told you that they loved you today, I like to say that I love you. And I says, I love you too, big brother. And we just got to talking, and it wasn't too much of anything, you know. It was just how you doing, you know. But he was asking me these questions, but I was just happy to talk to him. I never got a chance to ever talk to my brother directly. When I was having issues out on the land with Yuda Yasharel and them, Rap the News offered to do a conference call or something like that. But after that, I never got to talk to him. But back to the dream. You know, we all know that man had a sense of humor. I mean, his sense of humor. I mean, he had me in here rolling, and we were just talking, you know. Not 1 second did I think that, you know, our brother's been gone for over a year. But just to hear his voice, and, you know, I kept thinking to myself, you know, all praise to the Most High. You know, I'm talking to my big brother. And we all know that he had a way of reading people. And, you know, sometimes you find out a lot about people when you just let them talk. And a lot of times he let me talk. And didn't say much. You know, the conversation was very light. But, you know, I started realizing that he was listening to me, you know, really listening to me. Some people can really listen and tell you more about what you're doing than you actually, know at that time. You know, like I say in my videos, we are a destroyed people. But, yeah, his sense of humor is hilarious, you know, and on point with some key things. Then he kept saying, after he heard me talk for a little while, he kept saying, you got to stop doing that. He interrupted me and said, you got to stop doing that. And, you know, he said it 3 times. And then I stopped talking. And he said, you know, you got to stop bullshitting yourself, brother Dishawn. And I put 2 and 2 together. You know, the last video that I made, I was trying my best not to be upset with myself when I got the Day of Atonement wrong. And, you know, it was not necessarily refreshing that, you know, Rap's son made that video saying that he got it wrong too. But it did make me feel a little better about me, because I love my people. I love our God with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my strength, and with all my might. And when I found out that I in particularly was wrong, I resorted back to some things, back to a mindset that I have been digging myself out of for going on 9 years now. There is only one soul that can beat the holy hell out of me way worse than I can. But anything and anyone else can't come close to what I do to me. Are you listening? I mean, there's a lot of us that understand what I'm talking about. The self-loathing, the self-disgust, the shame that we feel at times. The Most High does not come always when we want him to, but he is always on time. I was given that dream to remind me and to keep me from falling back into my mental illness, which is self-loathing. From an early age, I can remember, at the age of 6, my relationship with the woman that gave birth to me, my mother, has gotten a lot better. However, I remember being the reason why her life got held back, starting at the age of 16 when she gave birth to me. I remember being the reason why she couldn't find a man or keep one. I remember being the reason why she couldn't go out and do what she wanted to do. And at the age of 6, Israel, there's a lot of us that have mama issues, that have daddy issues. But if the one or the ones that were responsible for you coming into this world, seem like they don't want you, you kind of get the feeling that there's nothing to live for. Facts. But I know I'm bouncing around a little bit. But the moral to the story was, Rap the News told me, you got to stop that. I was beating myself up, and I was relapsing into a mindset that was very dangerous. I managed to get through the Sabbath without beating the holy hell out of myself, but my livestock, I could tell that they knew that something was up with me. Little Oreo was following me around closer. We have been beaten down so bad in this captivity that we take in not only so much poison that the Gentile give us in the food and in the water, but it's like clockwork how we do ourselves. And in that dream, the Most High blessed me with Rap the News, and he kept telling me, you got to stop doing that shit. And when I realized what he was talking about, which was beating myself up, I woke up. And I just went and washed my face, and I prayed to the Most High. Thank you for this dream, Almighty Creator. Thank you for the reminder that I am your child and that I need to continue on a daily basis to do better. All praise and great glory to the mighty Most High. Isaiah 64, 6-7. These translations are all ESV. We have all become like one who is unclean, and all our righteous deeds are like a polluted garment. We all fade like a leaf, and our iniquities like the wind. Take us away. Verse 7. There is no one who calls upon your name, who rouses himself to take hold of you. For you have hidden your face from us and have made us melt in the hand of our iniquities. We are tore up from the floor up, Israel. But through humbleness, meekness, and self-control, self-restraint, love, we have to individually bring ourselves out of this captivity. It was a wonderful dream. And though I felt pretty bummed out that, in that conversation I didn't get much time with my big brother, it was a blessing to have that dream. Proverbs 3:11 through 12. My son, do not despise the Most High's discipline, or be weary of his reproof. For the Most High reproves him whom he loves, as a father the son in whom he delights. We're all going through it, are we not? We're all getting our asses kicked. But, on the night of that, the 5th, when I was on the phone with another brother and I was talking to him, and this actually happened. This wasn't a dream. We kept looking up at that beautiful moon, and it was so bright and full. And I asked him, I said, brother, every time I look up at the moon, this was on the 5th, every time I look at the moon, I get this electrical weird feeling. And he said, you too? You feeling that too? I said, yeah. And I kept looking up at the moon, and then I'd look away, and every time I looked at the moon, I felt weird. We all know that night, that's when those humongous earthquakes happened. And what they say, like 8,000 and counting over in Turkey. Oh yeah, the Most High is moving. He's moving for you, Israel. Matthew 7:5. Ye hypocrites, first take the log out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. With that scripture, I'm reminiscent of when I had people out here, and my pride would tell me, you gotta help them to get it. You gotta help them to get it. We are all on different levels, yet we are all a part of the same puzzle. And we cannot be forceful in a process that is not ours. This process is the Most High's process of bringing us closer together. But it's up to us individually to allow him to do his work. Because I don't know about you, but every time Brother Dishawn puts his hands on something of my own doing, I fuck it up. And then, bop, 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 I get lumped the fuck up by the one and only Creator. The beam in my own eye can be sometimes resorting back to me not being shit, as I was told at a very young age, that I was stupid, that I was ugly, that I was going to grow up to be a bum, and all of this other shit. Yes, on a daily basis, well, not every day, but when I do contact my mother, or my father, I make sure that I show them respect, regardless of how I felt that I was mistreated as a child, because the Most High said, honor thy father and thy mother, so that thy life may be prolonged upon the earth. Not, sometimes, because, sometimes I felt loved, sometimes I didn't. Sometimes I felt like a nut, sometimes I didn't. No, honor thy father and thy mother, in that order. And, growing up was difficult, but in this lifetime, being a child of Israel is supposed to be difficult. It's not going to be difficult all the time, and we're going to make mistakes, but we learn from them. And what I have learned this year, in these 3 years that I've been here, is that I still have work to do. And a big part of it is still how I see myself. Proverbs 17:10. A rebuke goes deeper into a man of understanding than 100 blows into a fool. Basically, this fool is getting a lot more understanding on things. Number one, you don't go blab to the world things that are going on in your house. My people felt attacked out here, and I was wrong for that. And I'm not rehashing or peeling the band-aid off of old wounds. This is a lesson. Okay? This is a lesson, because we ain't done learning a certain lesson until the Most High says so. He has brought us down mighty low, and he is rebuilding us up, Israel. Proverbs 27:5. Better is open rebuke than hidden love. Oh, praise to the mighty Most High. And in that dream, I knew in the few years that I've known Rap the News that he loved me. And my thing always has been that I didn't feel that I deserved any love. But, the Most High has been showing me all my life that he loves me. And he's put key people in my life, to confirm that. And, Rap the News rebuked the shit out of me a couple times. And, I'd get all pissy and salty, but because I do not want that fucking fire, I lick my little wounds and get my ass back to the business of not only helping to save my soul, but others. Leviticus 19:18. You shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against the sons of your own people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Most High. What does that mean? A lot of us, including myself, at one time did not know what it meant to love others, in particular, children of Israel, as you love yourself, as I love myself, because for a long time I did not love myself. For a long time I loathed myself. You know, I was afraid for a long time to become 18 because I seen what happened when my uncles, my older brother, my cousins, the men in particular, turned 18. They got tried as adults through this beast system, court system. You know, this lesson is for those of us that are bullshitting ourselves with something we're bullshitting ourselves with. And for me in particular, it was how I felt about myself and trying to mask it up or cover it up. The bullshitting that I was doing was how I felt about myself spilled over into how I handled and dealt with other people. Let's keep it moving. You know, you shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against the sons of your own people, but you shall love your neighbor as you love yourself. I am the Most High. That also means yourself, Israel. There is a lot of us that are bullshitting ourselves and we bear grudges against ourselves. It's like, you don't feed a high performance car diesel for a truck. You don't give Twinkies and ho-hos to a bodybuilder. You know? So why on the Most High's green earth are some of us in so much disdain towards ourselves that, you know, and we try to make it seem like, you know, oh, what are you talking about? I love myself, when you really don't. We see it all the time, you know, with you know, sisters that run around with black women with blue contacts in their eyes and blonde hair on their heads, or Asian women's hairs on their heads. You know, it's not about impressing anybody else, but if Brother Dishawn is going to continue to grow strong in this spirit and truth, he needs to get his ass right. He needs to continue to look and reach in deep into that muck and filth, into those ashes, and pull the truth out. Because that's what the Most High would have us do, Israel. Christianity and other religions require you to lie, because religion is a fucking lie. But Israel, who you are and who loves you and who you serve, will not have us bullshitting ourselves, because we cannot bullshit him. Lastly, I love this scripture. Oh, Brother Dishawn, you done brought out that New Testament. Kiss my ass. The Most High loves the children of Israel. The children of Israel are above all nations that are upon the earth. He loves us so much that he beat the living snot out of us in this last captivity. He made this one so worse that he sent us off into different directions. When every other captivity, we were together, but not this one. If you hear that little duck noise or whatever that thing is, like a it's like some kind of chicken. That thing, that's little Miss Oreo trying to get my attention. It's about time to take her back outside for the last time. So yeah, plus when she sees me on the phone, and now she's starting to bother me when I'm doing lessons. Hey, babies are babies. 1 Peter 2:9. But you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for his own possession, that you may proclaim the excellencies of him who called you out of the darkness into his marvelous light. I don't know about you, but that really hit home when I was awakened in my appointed time. All praise and great glory to the mighty Most High. Israel, do not forget to love and forgive yourself. Our Creator loves you so much. So much. You, children of this final captivity, are royalty. Continue to look in that mirror. Continue to know yourself as best you can. Continue to love your brothers and your sisters as you are learning to love yourself.